Hi from Mrs. McWork's fifth period class.
Hello there, history fans. I'm Valerius Maximus, your favorite historical reporter.
And I'm Felipe Week, Rome's even more famous and popular historical reporter.
Please join us tonight as the Past is a Blast TV brings you another exciting episode of Compare, Contrast, and Conclude.
This is a show where we compare and contrast historical features.
You, the audience, get to draw your own conclusion.
Tonight's show is a particularly exciting one. Who was the greatest general of the ancient Rome? Scipio Africanus or Carthage Hannibal Barca?
I can't wait to see what our audience decides, Flavius.
Neither can I, Various Maximus. So let's get started. Hello there. Can I ask you a few questions?
Sure. I'm just on my way to the baths. What do you want to know?
Tell me, what do you know about the Punic Wars?
A lot, actually. History is my favorite subject in school. The Punic Wars were a series of 3 wars between Rome and Carthage between 246 and 149 BC. Both Rome and Carthage wanted to control trading routes in the Mediterranean. Trade makes you rich, you know.
Do you mind if I butt in? I love history too. The Punic Wars were the largest wars in the ancient world who lived came to Carthage was the most important power in the Mediterranean. When the Punic Wars ended, Carthage was no longer existed.
Rome had a great army, but no navy.
Carthage had a great navy, but no army. They used mercenaries, hired soldiers who fought for money,
The wars cost hundreds of thousands of lives.
and forced many farmers off land in Italy.
These homeless farmers had nowhere to go but Rome, and no way to support themselves.
Rome became the dominant power in the Mediterranean, but ended up with all social and economic problems as a consequence.
Wow, you are really well informed. I'm impressed.
Can we just ask you a few questions with power? Who was the greatest? Rome or Carthage?
Rome. I love the way they built a navy almost overnight by copying a captured Carthaginian ship. Their invention of the corvus also allowed the Roman navy to fight on the sea as though they were on land. That General Scipio Africanus was a real hunk too.
I am for Carthage. The Central Harbor was fantastic, and I love the way Hannibal Barca crossed the Alps using elephants.
Yes, he did.
You can talk about Scipio all you want, but Hannibal was even going to tell.
Did you mention Hannibal Barca? My great-grandfather served on his campaign in the Italian campaign. He also fought in the Battle of Zama.
How exciting! What did your great-grandfather say about Hannibal?
Only one of the most talented commanders in history. He often called the father of strategy.
What else can you tell us?
My great-grandfather used to say when Hannibal Barca was faced with a problem or obstacle, he would say, we would either find a way or make one.
How interesting. Thank you so much for your time.
I see a Roman soldier over there, walking toward the forum. Excuse me, do you mind if we have a word?
Not at all. What do you need?
Are you at all familiar with Scipio Africanus or Hannibal Barca?
May the gods protect and preserve the memory of Scipio Africanus, the greatest general of all time.
Can you tell us why you feel that way?
Certainly, every member of the Roman army feels exactly as I do. Scipio was a great man of great intellect and culture who could speak and read Greek. He also a great orator and an extremely fair and generous man.
I didn't know that. Tell me more.
Scipio was the first Roman general to expand Roman territories outside Italy. He was great in strategy and tactics and was always able to inspire his soldiers with confidence. He also supported the land distribution for veterans.
I just love his famous quotes. I am convinced that life is 10% what happens to me and makes 90% how I react to it.
That was Scipio for you. He always thought things through. He helped make Greek culture popular in Rome.
Well, TV audience, I hope you've enjoyed the show so far. But now it's time to bring out our big guns.
Let's hear it for General Scipio Africanus and Hannibal Barca.
Yeah! Thank you, PBTV.
It's always wonderful to grace you with my presence.
Well, Generals, thank you so much for being here. If you don't mind, PBTV, would like to ask you a few questions.
Certainly, what would you like to know?
Tell us about yourself, please.
I came from a military family who long struggled against an aggression of Carthage.
Hey, that's not fair.
General, be patient. Your turn is coming.
Both my father and uncle were killed during battles in Carthage. When I was young, I swore an oath to my father that I would spend my life defending Rome against Carthage. That is what I did too.
Why are you such a great general?
Well, from the time I first took command when I was 25 years old, I never lost a battle. I am famous for defeating Hannibal in the Battle of Rome. My soldiers love me and would follow me anywhere.
And General Hannibal, sir, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Only that Scipio wasn't the only general who lost family members in the Punic War. My family died fighting Rome, and the Romans also killed my brother Hannibal and lobbed his severed head into my camp. I tell you, those Romans have no manners.
What made you such a great general?
If Carthage had sent me men and supplies like I'd asked, which would have allowed me to lay siege to Rome, the Battle of Zama would have never taken place. And what about my crossing the Alps with all those men and elephants? Tell me, that wasn't pretty terrific.
What about the Battle of Cannae?
You mean when my forces slaughtered or captured 50 to 70,000 Romans? It was one of the greatest defeats in Roman history.
And I believe it's one of the bloodiest battles in human history, too.
I will agree that Hannibal was a great general, but sir, I did beat you.
You had support of Rome. Carthage never rewarded those generals with victory, only punished them in defeat. If we had switched places, you two might have lost.
Our time is about up, but before we go, however, I'd like to ask Hannibal a question. General, is it true that you taught Romans the meaning of fear?
As a Roman, allow me to answer that. Yes, Roman parents would tell their children brutal tales of Hannibal when they misbehaved. Over time, Hannibal became such a figure of terror that whenever disaster strikes, Rome slams Hannibal at their court, or Hannibal before the gate.
I'm afraid our time is up. Thank you so much, generals, for speaking with us.
Well, audience, it is now up to you. PBTV has compared and contrast, and now you must conclude your opinion. Who was the greatest general, Scipio Africanus and Hannibal Barca?
See you next week. Good night.
That's a wrap.